and a warm welcome to Business Class. Ahead on today's show, we'll uncover the surprises to be found by visitors to Israel with travel writer Nina Karnikowski. We'll also speak with Gourmet Traveller Managing Editor and Chief Food Critic Pat Nurse about the winners of this year's Restaurant Awards. But first, it's been a good week for Qantas CEO Alan Joyce with his 3-year Qantas transformation program finally reaping big rewards for shareholders. The national carrier reported a $1.4 billion underlying profit for last financial year, with Joyce using the good news as an opportunity to announce a whole suite of plans, including a challenge to Airbus and Boeing to produce an aircraft capable of flying direct from Australia's east coast to London, Europe and New York within 5 years. Well, for more, I'm pleased to say we're joined by Managing Editor of Travel Daily, Bruce Piper. Bruce, a pleasure to have you on board today. Thanks very much.
No worries.
Now, this was big news. How realistic do you think it will be that we'll be able to make this direct flight from Sydney to London? I mean, that's only 5 years away. It's not all that far.
Yes, look, what Alan Joyce is doing is challenging the manufacturers to really push the envelope in terms of designing their aircraft. But it's not, it's an incremental change rather than a major thing. The launch customer for the Airbus A350 ULR ultra long range is Singapore Airlines, and they're planning to fly it, I think, with about 170 passengers from Singapore to New York and Los Angeles. Qantas, basically, they're saying, you know, if you can do that, can't you just push it a little bit further and make it work? And so, yeah, it's not unrealistic.
How much time will you actually be saving on that flight? How long will the flight take from Sydney to London direct?
So I think they're saying less than 21 hours, so about 20 hours and 20 minutes, you know, conditions, you know, willing it. So it's interesting that it's only cutting about 3 hours off the shortest transit to London, but definitely stop, you know, it still save a lot of money for Qantas. No need for any hubs, you know, you're just going point to point all that way.
I'm not sure how I feel about being on a flight for 20 hours, but nonetheless. Brisbane, Bruce, it's going to be the new home for half of Qantas's new Dreamliners. What does that mean for Queenslanders?
Well, first of all, it means a lot of jobs. Qantas has done a deal with Brisbane Airport to create a 787 base there, but also potentially lots of new direct destinations. They've talked about non-stop from Brisbane to, you can go to places like Seattle, Chicago, Vancouver. All of that will be possible, and with the 787 range and also sort of the passenger mix, that you can make that sort of a narrow, long route work quite well. So, yeah, lots of options for Queenslanders, hopefully, in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, another added sort of benefit, Alan Joyce has made an announcement around onboard Wi-Fi. When is that expected to be, you know, widely available, and interested in whether you've in fact used it?
I haven't used it myself. They're saying that it's going to start rolling out more rapidly from about September. Essentially, they've had a couple of aircraft testing it, and they've got it in the sky. They've proved the principle, but they don't want to take aircraft actually out of their normal maintenance schedules to get it installed. So I think they're saying that, you know, as the aircraft come off the line and get work done, at the same time they'll get the domestic Wi-Fi capability. Interestingly, no plans announced by Qantas for international Wi-Fi. They're saying that the technology at the moment really doesn't support the speeds that they would like, and so they're holding back on that, unlike other carriers, including Virgin, which have announced that they're going to be putting Wi-Fi on their international and domestic services.
Speaking of working on various you know, aspects there of the business, Mr. Joyce also announcing plans to refurbish their A380 fleet, which is quite interesting because I'd imagine that they're not very old. What's the plan there?
Well, it's going to see the demise of the much-loved Qantas Skybed. They've got this great new suite that is in the business class cabins of the A330s. They're going to put that into the A380s. They're going to expand the more premium economy. I think that the Emirates lounge, in-flight lounge, has been quite a popular concept, and so they're going to enlarge the lounge area at the front of the top deck on the A380s. New in-flight entertainment throughout. New economy class seats as well, and there's, yes, more premium economy, slightly less economy class seats.
Okay, now the Qantas Club and the business lounge at Melbourne's domestic airport will be getting an upgrade. Passengers expected to be disrupted?
Look, probably not. Definitely the existing clubs will remain open during the construction. They've had a similar upgrade just happened in Brisbane. Yeah, I mean, look, there's always a few walls to move and, you know, maybe a bit of construction noise, but the disruption really will be minimal. And once they open, the existing clubs, you know, the new ones will have much bigger capacity and new facilities, and yeah, they'll be great.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. Qantas frequent flyers as well, they've announced a new partnership with Hertz. What's the story here?
This is quite an interesting one, particularly technology-wise. Qantas members can now use their points. I think they can use up to 4,000 Qantas points kind of at the point of sale when they're buying a movie ticket, or even, I think even at the gift shop or the popcorn bar at the movies, to redeem a $20 discount. What's interesting technology-wise with this is that they can just use their Qantas card sort of on the spot. They don't have to transfer points between, you know, two different loyalty programs, and all of a sudden they get a discount. I think that it's not, you know, it'll be convenient, but I think that you probably get better value out of your points by redeeming them on a flight. But you know, if you fly a lot and you've got 1 million points, you might as well burn them up on go to the movies.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on to other news now, other travel news. Our car rental company Hertz, they've launched a new insurance product called Super Cover. What's new about this? Tell us a little more.
So this is an insurance option. Always when you rent a car, you're offered different insurance options, and many people choose or don't choose to accept them. This super cover thing means that if you have an accident or the car's stolen, or you know something happens to it, you pay absolutely nothing. So it's peace of mind for people who are concerned about an excess in the event that, you know, they get sideswiped, or you know, have an accident where they're at fault as well. It costs, I think it's about $44 a day extra for a standard vehicle, or if you're renting one of the fancy cars, like if they have a premium collection or an adrenaline collection, it's about $60 a day. So it's a small car, it might be $100 a day to rent it anyway. So it's quite a large increase on it, but for some people it will be provide peace of mind.
Bruce, in another story on car hire, a corporate travel management company, they've partnered with this limousine hire service to provide a free luxury airport transfer to premium travellers here in Australia. Just tell us a little bit more about this.
So this is a big corporate travel agency based in a city called Traveltoo, and they are responding to changes, particularly by Etihad. Until very recently, Etihad and Emirates offered premium passengers free transfers, and Qantas also on Emirates code shares. So if you're travelling in business class on an Emirates flight, and until recently on Etihad, you got a limousine transfer to the airport. However, Etihad has announced significant changes, and they're only offering transfers in Abu Dhabi now to first and business class passengers. So in Australia, this has created a bit of an opportunity, and this travel management company has teed up with a limousine service to provide a combination that you've got to book through that travel agency, but they'll price match, and essentially I think that they provide a departure transfer for if you're buying a business class ticket, and a return, departure and arrival for first class passengers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, now before we leave you, we have to talk about hotels. Sydney's Surry Hills is set to become a destination for a new boutique hotel and restaurant. Just tell us about the plan.
So this is a new hotel, I think it's called the Paramount, in an existing building. So it's the rise of the boutique hotel. They're definitely targeting corporate travellers, but also leisure. It'll have 29 rooms and a mixture of sort of incorporating the heritage elements of this old building, along with sort of all the mod cons that you want in a modern hotel. I think it's an interesting idea, and sort of suits that Surry Hills area where it's sort of, you know, quite eclectic, arty, creative community. All
right, fantastic. Bruce Piper, we'll have to leave it there, but it's been a pleasure having you on today. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Well, Israel is best known as home